Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Hit the Deck podcast, where we talk deck hockey, street hockey, ball hockey. It's hockey in sneakers. I'm so eager to introduce myself because I'm such a wild narcissist. Who are you? I'm the American Rhino.
I need to take a time out right now.
DJ Jimmy Jam James, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty well. Hello, Mr. American Rhino, Gary Mack, sir.
You really don't have to push the American Rhino thing. It's bad enough that I introduce myself that way. You don't have to try and make it a thing. I already sound pretentious enough with it. I'm a hockey podcaster.
I'm James the Jay-Z.
Yes, you are. Unless it's your evil twin, Dave a Jay-Z.
That's right. Yeah, we got to keep tabs on that guy. So whenever anything is said stupidly from your co-host, it's Dave doing it. It's not James.
Yeah, he's always skulking around here somewhere. I suppose that's the bottom line, because Dave a Jay-Z said so. There's our pointless wrestling reference.
Yeah, I got it in, baby. One of the reasons why we're doing this podcast is that we love hockey, playing hockey, talking hockey, and so on and so forth, which leads us into talking hockey, kind of the idea of the podcast.
Hopefully we'll get some guests on the podcast.
Mike Margiana.
George Kornienko.
Sam Chima.
Brad Vonsky.
The more the merrier, huh?
No, there's nobody.
I've even heard stories of NHLers that sleep with their sticks.
That's a little weird. No judgment, but that's not something I need to know about.
As much as I've loved my sticks or gloves or helmets or whatever, it was strictly business.
I decided that any goalie worth his salt has a custom mask, and I wanted to be a goalie worth his salt. The other piece of gear that I love and I absolutely, as a goalie, could not live without is my cup. I would not want to play hockey without that.
You got to have that cup.
Ball hockey, you say?
The illustration is, let's just say, inaccurate in another area.
He says charitably.
I have a big hockey bag.
Yeah! See, podcasting is a non-linear type of thing. You don't have to listen to it as we're speaking. That's the advantage of podcasting, the advantage it has over radio, which is generally live. So our listener, you, the listener who is listening, you are listening at your leisure at any time. Well, not right at this moment because you don't have access to it yet. But anytime other than as we're recording it, anytime following my posting of it, you can listen to it.
You're going to listen to this podcast in real time. That's the hook for this show.
Hey, we record on Thursday night, so screw everything else, man.
Go ahead, justify this one.
Thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you. You know what? Thank you very much. I'm feisty tonight. There was a movie that was made about the Miracle on Ice, and Jim Craig was played by Steve Guttenberg.
Now you know Jim Craig, really. Okay, yeah, you won the gold medal, you beat the Russians, but now that must have really made him legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
Gary gotcha. So.
Yeah. James, my friend, I've been decked. I've called a press conference to answer for my actions. I take my podcast responsibilities very seriously, and I deeply regret the damage which I may have done to Hit the Deck's credibility and reputation. I solemnly promise that going forward, I shall do my due diligence on all topics so as to ensure accuracy, except when doing otherwise would be more entertaining. Thank you. No questions.
No, please. I can't do this on my own. Come back.
And I'm reinstated.
I was just going to try and stall, but not going to bother.
Well, I mean, it's true. A lot of goaling, also goaltending, which actually goaltending, preferably there's very little goaling involved.
I figured we would all be really, really bad.
No, I have nothing interesting to contribute to this conversation. What was that accent that I just broke out? I had a lot of laundry. Where am I from? It's hockey and sneakers, don't you know? I can also offend my wife with my Italian accent. Hey, how you doing over here? Come on, scungio.
I love it.
Forget about it.
That's right.
Bonne chance, Quebec. Bonne chance. I don't always fly to Mars, but when I do, I don't know where I'm going with that. Quebec. Je suis désolé. I just Googled that.
Man of many talents, and we appreciate them all.
So unfortunately, I don't show any on the podcast. I do not actually know Kung Fu. I apologize to anybody listening, because you deserve better than that.
I'm enjoying it. I think everybody else should, too. But
your mileage may vary.
Basically, and I do say basically a little bit too much, so I got to cut that out. But anyway...
it's basically fine. Yes and no. I say that a lot on this podcast. I'm not very definitive. I'm always very equivocal. It's just a bit of self-analysis there from your American Rhino.
Oh, we won. Oh, well. Oh, we lost. Oh, well.
No, I live vicariously through myself. Yeah, if you want to insult me or reprimand me, please drop us a line at hitthedek@gmail.com or
Devote all your anger towards me. I don't want. Hockey playing chimp is just really it's unbelievable. Maybe I'm just jealous too that he was a much better hockey player than I ever will be. So
we actually managed to make it through a whole podcast without a pointless wrestling reference.
Can you possibly have enough wrestling references? I think not. So
I guess we're gonna find out. In the wrestling parlance, I'm a mark for America. I had to cut it off quick because I don't want Vince McMahon to sue us. Yeah, I'm not willing to think I'm that original. So,
a goon, quote unquote, if you're not familiar with that term, it's basically hockey's polite way of saying the guy just knows how to fight and doesn't know how to find the back of the net.
That's the polite way? I got a rough life, James, let me tell you.
Being a defenseman, my back's usually towards you, but I've heard grunts and pops and things, and you just go right along and...
I have a very important question for you.
And what would that be?
Do you bleed?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Yeah, well, you work hard, nose to the grindstone for your podcast. I got a fever. The only cure for that fever is more whiteboard.
I don't want to scare anybody out there who's listening.
Boo.
Just kind of, because,
Sorry. There's something wrong with me. I think we've established that.
And on top of everything else, I'm not feeling very well. So with the cold weather and whatnot.
Stop whining.
Yeah, sure. Let's say that was a segue.
Hit the deck good. Hit the deck good.
You know what? Screw it. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing anything. Let's just get a move on.
Don't hold back. If you don't agree, I don't care. But
no sausage. No sausage. Bacon only.
Okay. Although that's a good strategy, because if somebody's dangling bacon in front of my face, I'm not going to play the puck or him. I'll go right after the bacon. And
it's bacon! Bacon, 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 bacon. James doesn't know it's not bacon. It's bacon!
I mean, hey, it doesn't matter if you're playing well or not. You go with the bacon.
Bacon. It doesn't matter if you're playing well or not. Go with the bacon. Sponsored by people who love bacon, which is basically everybody.
Oh, yeah. Come on. It is a Hit the Deck public service announcement.
That's a Hit the Deck public service announcement. I'm a little punchy, so... Do you suffer from fatigue, tiredness, general lack of energy? Try a nap. Naps. They're not just for children anymore. That's NAPS, naps.
You are dropping PSAs left and right, man.
Math. It's the foundation of our society. Math. Do you have a mom? Sure, we all do. Do you love your mom? Probably. Don't forget, this Sunday, love your mom. It's Mother's Day.
A little consideration and appreciation for the people that raised us, everybody.
Seriously.
Come on.
Way to man up, Chris. Way to be a hockey player. Man up is misogynistic. I apologize.
It's just kind of a spookiness in the air.
Yeah, okay. We'll call gender insensitivity spookiness. Sure.
We were possessed. We weren't speaking on our own merits.
That's a little something for the ladies.
There are tough ladies out there, so good for you.
Lady, person, female, ma'am. What woman doesn't like domestic appliances?
Yeah. I guess you figured I'm single, everybody.
Well, if I murdered an innocent child on Christmas morning, I think we'd have bigger problems than what baseball team I rooted for.
Weren't you paying attention to us before?
I wouldn't blame you if you weren't.
Yeah, I kind of zoned out myself.
Transformers, hockey in disguise. There should have been a Zamboni Autobot, although his name would have been like Ice Scraper.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been really cool.
Autobots transform and smooth out. He's cold as ice, like what hockey is played on.
Nice, very good.
Except our podcast is about not playing hockey on ice, so it all doesn't come together full circle.
Born in the USA.
That was an unexpected treat. Thank you.
Much appreciated. I've done my job for the night. Good night, everybody.
All right. Get out of here, you big lug. You whet the listener's appetite and leave them wanting more.
This is an awful plan.
Oh, man, the king is spinning in that grave.
Getting back to Sergeant Mace, and I'm glad you didn't bring up the spray, because that's not cool.
I think that would be Sergeant Pepper, and that's a completely different guy. David Jay-Z. Rhino Mac. He's a Jersey boy, dare I say. I'll show myself out.
We don't have...
Actually, I was going to go for it, but Jen will yell at me because my daughter is sleeping in the other room.
Hey, you stopped it before. Your goalie instincts took over, so well done.
Yeah, my survival instincts took over. I sometimes question my wife's judgment. I mean, she did decide to marry me.
And you don't have a face made for radio, by the way, even though we're doing a podcast. So.
Not even for radio?
No.
Oh, man.
I'm sure your wife would be very proud of you, so...
Jen doesn't pay attention to my nonsense. Don't kid yourself.
You have a very healthy marriage, right?
My wife is shaking her head at me. I believe in a clean game.
Yeah, you try and do what you can where you're like, boogie, boogie. You know?
He was a little ball of hate. I like to model my play around him.
So, I mean, no one's going to hit me in the face.
That's how you really score.
Yeah.
By the amount of mayhem you cause.
I am a sportsman, sir.
Just stubborn stick-to-itiveness, I think. Obliviousness, perhaps.
Skeletorial, to if that's even a word.
I like the word. I don't know if it is, but
there you go.
I like it. Skeletorial.
There's my education right there.
We hope you've enjoyed our nonsense and inanity. If you don't have a word,
Make one. Don'ts, half-wits, bunglers, brainless idiots.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Help me.
Well,
Help me, James.
actually,
You're my only hope.
then we're in big trouble. I don't need any other excuse to look even dumber than I already do. So
we're underqualified.
I'm lazy. I just stand
no,
there.
not at all. You're the
Put up my feet, get a magazine,
so
watch Netflix on my phone.
Sure,
you know, it's
right.
just.
I'm just in awe of my own brilliance at a segue. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you, me. I appreciate it. Let's all thank me. I'm great. No autographs, please. I'm with my family. You can't see me, but I am patting myself on the back for how great I am. Clearly, there'll be time to celebrate your accomplishments later. Ooh, coming soon. I hope you're happy to be listening to us talk.
I am. Maybe somebody else is, I hope.
Well, you have no choice. You get to listen in. Or you have to listen in. We'll see how it goes.
yeah, just pretend we've held you hostage and you're in the back seat.
Yeah.
You have to listen to our ramblings.
Tie yourself up, handcuff yourself to a chair, whatever gets you in the moment, I guess.
I don't know if anybody else is liking it, but I'm having a blast. This is great.
And really, that's the important thing. I don't know why I decided to make June so exciting. Hey, it's June! I'm creating artificial excitement, and I feel like that's dishonest. So, listener, I apologize. That's my bad.
All right.
I don't even say my bad. Why would I say my bad? It's not a thing I say. I was going to say that's how I roll. What is wrong with me today? I don't say these things.
We could just edit it all out like it never happened.
Nah, that would be dishonest. The listeners should know that I am incompetent. You can correct me. You don't have to, whisper. That was the... Correct my ignorance, James.
No.
It is a fact. You do host podcasts.
All right, you're not wrong. Up next on the Say Your Prayers podcast, the Hit the Football podcast, Name Everybody in the LIQ podcast. You'll hear more about Rod Hockey and his friends here on the Star Trek The Next Generation podcast. We're very clever. Yeah, I know Rod Hockey. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Rod Hockey over here. How you doing? I'm just envisioning some caveman lying in a cave at some point. And, who, Tommy John? Think of the son as Liam Neeson. I don't have any money. What I do have is a very specific set of skills. Skills that will burn you.
And you will get burned.
Yes. If you put on the sunscreen now, it's over. I will not come after you.
Yeah, don't challenge the son or Liam Neeson because you will lose.
Mm-hmm. Oh, welcome to the 6th Hit the Deck podcast. Welcome to the spooky, not really that spooky, 13th episode of the Hit the Deck podcast, where we're talking deck hockey, street hockey, ball hockey. It's hockey in sneakers.
You get what you get, and you don't get upset. That may be the new tag for the show.
The Hit the Deck podcast. We're not oppressing anybody.
We're ignorant bastards. Do what we say or else.
The opinions expressed by James Sajazi herein do not reflect those of the Hit the Deck podcast or any of their affiliates.
Leave us alone, lawyers.
Well, yippee-ki-yay, Mother Decker. Our little podcast is all grown up.
Every sacrifice of for hockey is very sad to sacrifice the Porsche, but hey, means must, eh?
Gary and I aren't degenerate gamblers, but if any of you listeners out there took our tip, pay up, will ya?
What else am I going to do with $79,000?
Yeah, jeez.
We figured let's do our own deck hockey draft. I chose Seabass as the coveted first pick. The only thing I won't do for Seabass is meet him for manly love in a dirty restroom in Colorado in some gas station somewhere. Other than that...
No judgment, James.
No judgment. Away we go.
I'm going to go off the board on this one. I'm taking Batman.
You came to win.
Hey, I don't mess around. And I think Batman would probably make for a pretty good goalie. Come to think of it, Batman probably has better things to do than play goalie anyway. So,
well, it's natural. I mean, if he's going to save Gotham City and the world, you might as well save a few shots with your buddies, you know, and get in goal there. Batman, come on.
May the best team win.
Yeah.
James, this was all your idea, so you have no one to blame but yourself.
Now it's my turn to pat myself on the back.
Too many fucks to the head, I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm not a brain scientist. I remember pointless minutia.
A lot of hair doesn't help. So I gotta help.
Thanks for making us feel very old, but go ahead.
In my day, by cracky, we had to walk uphill both ways in the snow and barefoot, and we liked it.
Thank you. Your extra special little bit of sacrifice, it's appreciated, even though it really blows for you. So, yeah. Happy 4th of July. I'll see myself out. No. I am the American Rhino, so I do wrap myself in the flag. It's around my horn and my what have you.
I'm kind of leery of entering a Raging Rhinos area. You do know that there's a player back there. Absolutely you do. You hit everything square on the head, so...
Did I hit the deck?
Well done. I hope nobody's scouting us. And it's guaranteed that you wouldn't be putting that jersey or sweater on my back. Let's just say that. And not where you would be putting it. So
that's not true. I won't do that.
I'm kidding. Okay, I'm back to hockey. Thank you.
Okay, all right, yeah, good.
Yeah, yes. I think I have properly stuck my foot in my mouth many a time tonight, so I'm just going to stop now.
All right. Of all the people that I would ask fashion advice from, I don't think Don Cherry would be at the top of the list. That's cherry, like the fruit, and his wardrobe is the pits.
Apologies to Canada. I mean, are they still our allies? I mean, I'm sorry.
I hope you've enjoyed these road trip segments. If you have, let us know. Maybe we'll do more of them in the future. And if you haven't, let us know, and maybe we'll do them anyway to spite you. So, not like our podcast, huh? How dare you? How dare you, sir or madam? Sir or madam, what do you think you are, judging us? Don't judge us. You sit in our shoes and do this, and then you judge us. I think I went off on a little bit of a tangent there.
We're getting cut off.
Oh, no. Okay. Is that the hook? Yeah, what that is?
Right.
All right. Okay. 2 minutes for pontificating.
I failed again.
No, it's fine.
Into the penalty box with me.
They said it wouldn't last, James, but here we are. Actually, I don't know anybody who said it wouldn't last. Really, everybody was very supportive of this podcast. They said it would last, and it did. So for all of you who say happy anniversary, don't. Thanks for your warm wishes, and keep them to yourself.